somewhere in a conflict zone far from home, long after the headlines have moved on and the cameras are gone. There are still men and women standing watch in blue helmets. They are not there to conquer land. They are not there to raise a flag. They are there to keep the peace between people who no longer trust each other. And very often, among those quiet guardians, you will find Filipinos. Not loud, not boastful, not always recognized, but deeply respected. Across Africa, the Middle East, and other fragile regions, Filipino peacekeepers have built a reputation that goes far beyond military discipline. Ask diplomats, aid workers, and even civilians in former war zones, and you'll hear a pattern. They say Filipino peacekeepers listen, they connect, they calm tensions before violence starts. That is one of the reasons world leaders repeatedly express gratitude for them, not just for what they do, but for how they do it. Peacekeeping is not war fighting. It's harder in a different way. You are placed between armed sides who may both distrust you. You operate under strict rules. You must show strength without aggression, authority without arrogance, compassion without losing control. It is a test of emotional discipline as much as tactical skill. Filipino units are often chosen for sensitive assignments because they tend to perform well under exactly those conditions. Many of them grew up in communities where negotiation, patience, and respect for elders were daily values. Many come from environments where people learn early how to read moods, avoid escalation, and maintain dignity under pressure. Those cultural habits don't disappear when they wear a uniform. They become assets. In several missions, local community leaders have said something striking. Filipino peacekeepers talk to us like neighbors, not occupiers. That matters more than most people realize. In tense villages where one wrong gesture can trigger panic, tone of voice matters. Body language matters. Willingness to sit down and share a meal matters. Filipino peacekeepers are known for engaging with locals, learning phrases, greeting children, respecting customs. These small human bridges often prevent big conflicts. World leaders don't just thank them for bravery. They thank them for stability. There have been moments when Filipino peacekeepers stood their ground under extreme danger, moments when evacuation was possible, but abandoning civilians would have been easier than staying, and they stayed. In more than one crisis, Filipino contingents held defensive positions while under threat from armed groups, refusing to surrender protected civilians. These incidents traveled quickly through diplomatic circles. Courage is always respected, but courage combined with restraint earns something deeper: trust. Trust is currency in international security. Another reason leaders value Filipino peacekeepers is adaptability. Peacekeeping missions are unpredictable. One day you are escorting humanitarian convoys. The next day you are mediating between rival militias. Then you are helping rebuild infrastructure or supporting medical outreach. Flexibility is not optional. It is survival. Filipino forces are widely seen as resourceful problem solvers. They are known to improvise solutions with limited equipment, harsh weather, and unstable logistics. Commanders from multiple nations have noted that Filipino units tend to maintain operational effectiveness even when conditions deteriorate. There is also the language factor. Many Filipinos speak English fluently, often alongside other languages. In multinational operations where coordination is critical, that communication ability reduces friction and speeds decisions. Miscommunication can cost lives. Clear communication saves them. But beyond skills and logistics, there is something less measurable that keeps coming up in testimonies from the field: empathy. Peacekeeping is emotionally exhausting work. You see displaced families, traumatized children, broken towns. Some soldiers harden themselves emotionally to cope. Filipino peacekeepers are often described as maintaining empathy without losing professionalism, firm when needed, gentle when possible. There are stories of Filipino units organizing small community activities for children in conflict zones, sports games, music, shared meals, not as publicity, but as morale support. Those gestures don't make global headlines, but they reduce fear on the ground. They humanize the uniform. Leaders notice outcomes, not just actions. When a region under a peacekeeping perimeter shows reduced violence, improved civilian cooperation, and better information flow, analysts ask why. Repeatedly, reports highlight the role of relationship-building units, and Filipino contingents appear frequently in those findings. Another overlooked reason for the gratitude is reliability. In international missions, reliability is everything. Showing up on time, following mandate rules, respecting civilian authority, maintaining discipline. Violations by peacekeepers from any country can damage the credibility of the entire mission. Units that maintain clean professional records become highly valued partners. Filipino peacekeeping contingents have often been recognized for discipline and adherence to rules of engagement. That consistency builds confidence at the highest diplomatic levels. There is also history behind this reputation. The Philippines has participated in peacekeeping for decades. Experience compounds. These lessons are passed down. Training evolves. Institutional memory strengthens performance. Veteran peacekeepers mentor new ones, teaching not only procedures but mindset. Many Filipino peacekeepers say something similar when interviewed. They see their mission not just as duty, but as service to humanity. That framing changes behavior. It encourages patience. It reinforces restraint. It keeps ego in check. World leaders understand something the public sometimes forgets. Peacekeeping failures are loud, but peacekeeping successes are quiet. When violence does not happen, it rarely trends. When escalation is prevented, there is no dramatic footage. But prevention is the real victory. And prevention is where Filipino peacekeepers often excel. Their approach tends to emphasize early engagement, presence, and dialogue. Instead of reacting only when violence erupts, they try to maintain visible, calm authority that discourages escalation before it starts. It is less dramatic, but far more effective. There is also the diaspora factor. Filipinos are known worldwide as migrant workers, caregivers, seafarers, medical staff, engineers. In many countries, local populations already have positive experiences with Filipino communities. That existing goodwill sometimes extends to Filipino peacekeepers, easing initial suspicion. Respect cannot be ordered. It must be earned, interaction by interaction. In interviews, some mission coordinators have described Filipino units as low ego, high commitment. They focus on getting the job done rather than claiming credit. In multinational environments where pride and politics can complicate coordination, that attitude is invaluable. Consider the psychological dimension of peacekeeping. Armed presence alone does not create peace. Perceived fairness does. If local groups believe peacekeepers favor one side, cooperation collapses. Filipino peacekeepers are often described as even-handed and approachable, which strengthens perceived neutrality, the foundation of peacekeeping legitimacy. Training also plays a role. Modern Filipino peacekeeping preparation includes cultural awareness, negotiation techniques, civilian protection doctrine, and de-escalation strategies. It is no longer just about patrol tactics. It is about human terrain understanding. And then there is sacrifice. Behind every deployment is a family left at home, months away. Sometimes a year, missed birthdays, missed milestones. The decision to serve in distant conflict zones is not taken lightly. Leaders recognize that willingness, especially when peacekeeping pay is modest compared to the risks involved. When global officials publicly thank Filipino peacekeepers, they are not only thanking the soldiers, they are acknowledging the families and the nation supporting them. Gratitude at that level is not ceremonial. It is strategic. Countries that consistently contribute effective peacekeepers strengthen their diplomatic standing. They become trusted contributors to global stability. That trust opens doors in international cooperation. But ask the peacekeepers themselves why they serve, and many give simpler answers. They say they want to help. They say they want to represent their country well. They say if their presence prevents even one village from burning, it is worth it. In a world where power is often measured by weapons, Filipino peacekeepers are respected for something quieter: their ability to reduce violence without increasing it. And that is the shocking part for many observers. Influence without domination, strength without cruelty, authority without fear. That is why the gratitude keeps coming. That is why the requests for their participation continue. That is why their reputation grows mission after mission. And the blue helmet they wear carries more than a mandate. It carries a promise,